This Gilded Age mansion was shipped across the country from Michigan to Boston, but why go through so much effort? Hi everyone, Ken here. Hit that subscribe button and let's explore this house. High on a Lake Superior bluff in 1892, a new sandstone landmark announced that John Monroe Longyear and his wife, Mary Beecher Longyear, had arrived. Their 65-room mansion in Marquette, Michigan was crowned by a Tiffany glass rotunda lined with oak wainscoting and surrounded by Olmsted-designed grounds. Yet that very house would one day ride the rails east, stone by numbered stone, to begin a second life outside Boston. The improbable journey of the Longyears and their traveling mansion remains one of the Gilded Age's most captivating stories. In 1850, John Longyear started life in Lansing, Michigan with more stamina than formal schooling. Sickly as a boy, he built his health and fortune by scouting Michigan's Upper Peninsula as a landlooker, mapping the iron and timber that would fuel America's industrial boom. By 30, he controlled mines, rail spur rights, and vast forest. By 40, he was investing as far afield as the Arctic, founding the coal town that still bears his name, Longyearbyen, Norway, which to this day remains the world's northernmost settlement with more than 1,000 residents. His wife, Mary Beecher, born a year after John, took a quieter route to prominence. A cousin of New England's famous Beecher clan, she was raised on faith, literature, and service. Teaching in Rough Edge, Marquette in 1877, she met the driven young prospector. They married 2 years later, weaving Mary's philanthropy into John's empire building and raising 7 children amid Lakeshore pines. Success prompted a home worthy of their ambitions. Architect D. Frederick Charlton fashioned a castellated brown sandstone residence perched above the lake. Then, tragedy reshaped everything. In 1900, the Longyear's 19-year-old son Howard drowned while canoeing. Mary dreamed of dedicating the lakefront as a memorial park, but the local railroad seized that shoreline for a new right-of-way. Heartbroken and angered, Mary vowed never again to live in Marquette. Selling the mansion proved impossible, with noisy trains thundering past its once peaceful terrace, so John proposed the unthinkable: relocate the entire stone manor. In 1903, crews cataloged each block, beam, and baluster, wrapped them in straw, and shedded them to rail cars, 190 freight cars in all. 2 trains were used to haul the house 1,100 miles to Fisher Hill in Brookline, Massachusetts, where John had bought 8 breezy acres. Over 3 years, Charlton oversaw a painstaking resurrection, enlarging the plan into an L-shaped, roughly 100-room palace. By March of 1906, the family moved in, gazing not at Lake Superior now, but at the Boston skyline. Inside the house, you make your way up a few steps to find the octagon hall, with a balustrated oculus opening up to a Tiffany glass dome soaring overhead. Most of the public rooms are arranged from this space. First guests would be guided into the reception room, where painted wall panels framed damask wallpaper and the crystal chandelier reflected from the perfectly polished parquet wood floors. These themes flow freely into the drawing room, where in place of wallpaper we find antique tapestries framed by pilasters. Let's continue making our way deeper into the house, admiring the fine furnishings and artwork along the way. The drawing room feeds us into the music room, which is the longest room in the house, where we can imagine live music bellowing from the built-in pipe organ. Also off the drawing room is the solarium, with ivy creeping up trellis walls towards the glass ceiling, which provided ample natural light to grow exotic plants year-round. This loops around to the dining room, and through the opening, we can see the octagon hall where we first started exploring the mansion. On the opposite side of the house, about as far away as you can get from the entrance, is the breakfast room, which embraces Japanese motifs and artwork. Opening stained glass doors and crossing the hall, we find the library's sitting room with fabric wallpaper and overstuffed furniture, creating a comfortable space for gathering with a family in the 100-room mansion. This opens up to the library, where Mary, a devout Christ scientist, archived early records of the faith's movement. Getting back to the public rooms, we swing open massive double doors to reveal the Gothic ballroom, where we can imagine ladies in their big Victorian dresses and men in fine suits dancing into the evening. And perhaps afterward, they might retire to the in-home bowling alley, competing against one another for the best score. John passed away here in 1922, but Mary carried on with her archiving work, converting galleries in the mansion into exhibit rooms and founding the Longyear Foundation in 1926 to safeguard her growing collection. She passed away in 1931, but her vision soon opened the estate as the Longyear Museum. For 60 years, visitors wandered through the public rooms that doubled as display halls, viewing manuscripts amid Gilded Age woodwork. Eventually, the upkeep on a 100-room house outpaced museum budgets, and in 1997, the foundation built a modern facility in nearby Chestnut Hill and sold the old mansion to developers, who, honoring strict preservation covenants, converted it into luxury condominiums while keeping the facade, gardens, and many interior details intact. And with that, I'll turn it over to you. Which room was your favorite, or maybe something else stuck out to you? Either way, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section, and while you're there, make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an exciting episode of This House.